Hello, friends. Welcome to Happy Hour Sports Talk Power Slap 20 edition. I, of course, am the Brofect one, AJ. I'm recording here. It's Thursday. It's May 14th. We are on the eve of Power Slap 20, and let me tell you, we've got a loaded card with some great fights, and I really think some good lines that we can be dealing with here as bettors, but we're in for a good night. I'm excited for it. We're in for a very good night after what was, at least for me, a very successful Power Slap 19, going 7-1 in those picks. So I'm hoping to keep that momentum going. Let's keep it moving. Before I go any further, though, do just want to take a moment, shout out to everyone watching here on Rumble, over on YouTube, TikTok. Y'all are the best. If you like what we're cooking, please hit those like buttons, hit the follow buttons. Does help out a lot more than you know. But let's not waste any time. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. Let's just get right into the picks here today for Power Slap 20 as my dog is making his entrance. How you doing, Olaf? You doing good? You doing good, bud? Good boy. You ready to make some Power Slap picks? I am. Let's go ahead and get into it as the first one. And we got one of my favorites. And Emmanuel No Love Munoz, number 2 in the middleweight division, going up against number 10, Ryan the Joker Wallace. Going into this one, Emmanuel Munoz 6-5, while Ryan Wallace is 0-2 going into this bout. As you're seeing, Wallace is a plus 190 dog in this one. Munoz minus 250. And I got to say, he's gone into decision 8 out of his last 11 fights. Okay, he's gone into, and so that is something to keep in mind. And he's gone 3-5 when it does go to decision. And so you're worried about fouls. You're worried about just not hard enough strikes going into it. However, other wins coming via KO, TKO, but every loss has been via decision. And so just something that is there to worry about with Munoz. However, he's one of the better fighters. He's one of the better middleweights that we see it on a consistent basis. He's 6-5, number 2 for a reason. Whereas Ryan, Ryan Wallace, the Joker, he's a joke. That's honestly how I feel about this. And you're gonna kind of see a theme with this card, with this Power Slap 20 card. I think a lot of this is, let's get our big names right again and right the ship and make these big fights for Power Slap 21, Power Slap 22, and so on and so forth. It feels a lot like, let's get some guys on the right track. And that's the other thing about Ryan. He hasn't fought in a while. And the last time he fought, bro looks small. You know what I mean? Bro looks small. Like, just his physicality, his neck looks small. You know what I mean? Like, power slappers, you see bigger necks. You see bigger traps on them, I believe this is called. I don't know. I'm killing it. But you see a stronger neck. And with him, I'm just not seeing the neck. He's got the power, but when I saw the power, it was after a stepping foul. And so that's kind of my issue. And that's my other thing. He's one of the few fighters I've ever seen actually get a stepping foul here in Power Slap. And so that does worry me going into this one. Long story short, even though it is very favorited, minus 250, Emmanuel Munoz, if your book allows it, I would say Emmanuel Munoz by decision. I do think this goes by decision. If you want to bet KO, TKO, yeah, it's going to be in the second or third round. You're not going to get a KO from Munoz from what I've been seeing in the first round. So I'm going with a second, third round knockout there, but I do think it's going to go to decision. Like Munoz here, give me No Love on the money line, minus the 250. I know it's not a pretty number, but hey, you got to do it. Go with it. This is where we start to cook, though. Luke, Lethal Striker Simons, going up against number 9 in the light heavyweight division, Jaden Fa'anana. I hope I pronounced that right. Schultz, excuse me. Who is 1-0 in Power Slap. Luke, 4-2 right now, who had a strong power, honestly, very strong start to his Power Slap career. However, 2 losses in his last two fights, both by KO, is a tough look. And, you start climbing those rankings, especially in this very competitive middleweight division, you're going to start to run into these problems. And so that is something I'm worried about here with Luke. However, he does have a strong, he has a strong enough chin that he can get into the fight. If he can keep the power going, he can stay lethal. It's just as long as they don't take it out of him, and Jaden, one fight back in March, just had a fight back in March, KO over Joe Perez, strong chin, took a couple of strong slaps and looked good doing it. And it's hard to describe, but watching tape on Jaden, it was this snap. There was this snap with his slap that I have not seen with any other fighters here in Power Slap, and that is something that I'm going with here. I'm going to take Jaden as the short dog here at -110. I love Luke Simons. He's been one of my favorite Power Slappers. The 2 KOs, it does make me a little worried, and wait until you see him slap tomorrow. I'm just saying, wait until you see him slap. There's a certain extra snap of the wrist or something that just generates a little extra power. I really like Jaden tomorrow. I like Jaden Schultz tomorrow. Jaden Fanana Schultz tomorrow, excuse me, to go over Luke Simons. Next one, we're dealing with a couple of guys that don't have a lot of experience here in Power Slap. Bryce Jones, Brandon Wilson here in the heavyweight division. Power Slap trying to build that heavyweight division back up a little bit. Bryce, though, does have a little bit of a record. He is 3-1 in Power Slap. 3 wins. He has the 1 win via KO, 1 win via decision, 1 win via DQ. And so he does win. It's a plethora of wins, and so it's hard to really lock down what he's really good at. The KO was crazy, though. I mean, it was one of the stronger knockouts we've seen in a while. If you think about Tua Tagovailoa taking a hit in the pocket, bro locked up like that, and I haven't seen that in Power Slap besides this KO. And so, I mean, please let me know in the comments if I'm wrong on that one. But I haven't seen a slap like that in a long time. And so Bryce definitely has the power behind him. And the couple shots he took was fine. But, his last fight, Power Slap 17, it was a loss. It was to Kenny KO round 2. It wasn't pretty. I'm sorry. I was thinking of a different fight. However, I do think the experience is going to take this one. It feels like they're trying to really build up Bryce Jones here. I don't know what's going on with my camera. I'm sorry about this, guys. I'm going to fix it in a moment. But I do think experience in this one. The KO does worry me a little bit, but we do have, excuse me, let me double check. Jones is slapping first. And by the way, Wallace is slapping slapping first in the first fight. Simons in the second fight. And then you get Jones here in the third fight. But Jones slapping first even makes me feel a lot better about this. So I'm going. Oh, excuse me. Hold on. Let me double check my notes. Yeah, I'm going Bryce. Going Bryce on this one. Sorry, I was reading. I was in between notes. I apologize. Going Bryce Jones minus the 125 here. I do think he's going to get it here. Wouldn't be shocked if Brandon Wilson gets it, but again, not able to find anything on him. Might be something Dana's trying to hide, just hide away in his little, oh, don't you worry. And then we got this random fighter who's just a knockout artist. But I like what Bryce Jones has put out. The 1 KO, again, does worry me, but not too crazy. Nothing too crazy. Next up, we've got Brian Baby Yoda Scambler going up against Glenn Hammerhands Hunter in the lightweight division. Brian Baby Yoda 1-0 as Glenn Hammerhands is 0-1 here in Power Slap. And you see the clear discrepancy here in the line, minus 200 plus 150 here in the lightweight division. Brian's 1 win does come via KO in round 1 at Power Slap 19. And let me tell you, rewatching that fight, I remember watching Power Slap 19 and being like, damn, that guy's got power. And then rewatching the fight, watching tape on this, yeah, bro's got the power. He can bring it. And I think he's going to continue to bring it. Glenn says he has the hammer hands, but let me tell you, he doesn't have a hammer chin. He has a glass chin at that. Round 1 KO being the loss that he took. And bro folded like Sydney Sweeney was right in front of him. Like, it was bad. It was really bad. I'm going to take Baby Yoda in this one. Give me Brian Scambler here, minus the 200. AJ, you're taking so many favorites. AJ, you're doing this. Just calm down. Everyone, calm down, all right? I was 7-1 last time. We're good. We're good. Don't you worry about it. All right, let's get into the next one. AJ Static Hints going up against Esteban Saavedra, who is 1-0 in the light heavyweight division. AJ 4-1. The one is a no contest from a long time ago. I mean, we're talking early power slap there. Last fight, though, was a fat L that I did predict against Stunt Marshall. It was a round 1 KO. And again, I'm very high on Stunt Marshall in general in power slap. Took him last time. I'm going to keep taking Stunt Marshall, but that's a whole other conversation for the next time Stunt Marshall is on power slap. You know, AJ, one of the original champs here in power slap, and I respect what he did for the sport and everything. He has just fallen off a little bit and hasn't performed as well as we would hope that he performs. Has taken some time off since his last fight, so hoping that it helps out a little bit. But I don't know. I mean, Esteban, I know, 1-0 in power slap. Not the biggest record, not the best record you're looking for, especially with a favorite coming in here at minus 145 when you're looking at a plus 115 with a former champ. But he can take a slap. Let me tell you, he can take a slap, he can eat it, and then he can dish it out. He did stumble a lot in his first fight, but he can hold strong. He can hold strong. I'll be honest, it's my least confident pick of the night. I do think this one is more of a toss-up and should be adjusted accordingly to the sports books. But minus 145, I am going to go ahead and lay that with Esteban here. Minus 145 again. Not my favorite pick of the night, but I'll take Esteban. I do think it should be more at a pick-em if we're going to be completely honest, but I'm not a sports book. What the hell do I know, right? What the hell do I know? Let's keep it moving. As we got my boy Anthony Babyface Blackburn going up against Andrew Provost. Blackburn 6-1-1 in the welterweight division, as Provost is 3-0 as we speak. Babyface Blackburn, 3 KO wins and 3 decision losses. Last loss to Cole Young at Power Slap 17 via decision, of course, but he performs well. And that's my thing with Blackburn. He always performs well, and he doesn't look like a guy that's going to go in and win a fight like this, but he does come out and he continuously wins those fights. Provost, he's got 1 KO win. That's pretty solid. The rest are decision wins, which we are seeing a lot more in Power Slap, which shout out to the fighters. Great chins we're seeing on the boys and girls. But with that being said, he got the shit knocked out of him in Power Slap 5. And yeah, I'm watching film all the way back to Power Slap 5 where we're talking with Provost. He did win the bout due to a stepping foul. You know, and so that is something to keep in mind. Like, he can get knocked out. He probably will get knocked out here. I'm going Anthony Blackburn at the minus 145 here. Again, we're taking a lot of favorites, but it's giving favorites. You know what I mean? As to take a line from a white girl, it's giving favorites tonight. At Power Slap 20. Next, we get Dorian Disturbing the Peace Perez versus Nate the Buffalo Soldier Bernard. Coming into this one, Dorian 5-2-1, number 1 ranked here, versus Nate Bernard, number 2 at 2-3. Dorian 2 KO knockouts, rest of them decision wins. His losses have been by decision as well. He has not been knocked out at all. And he's been staggered a little bit. Don't get me wrong. He's taken a couple steps and all of that, but he has not been knocked down. It hasn't been close to it. He could take this deep if he needs to, and he has the power behind it. And I will say, just to give credit where credit is due, one of the more entertaining power slappers that we see. Like, he takes he gives it a little theatrics. He gives it a little love. He gives the shit talk just a little bit extra. And I really like that and respect that about Dorian. But let's not sleep on Nate. Okay, not the best record in the world, 2-3, but all of them have been good performances. They've been good performances by Nate. He has 2 KO losses, but he's coming off a win against Aaron Turner. I can't trust him. I want Nate Bernard to be that guy. I just can't have him be that guy, and he doesn't feel like that guy yet. I am going to go ahead and take Dorian Perez here, minus the 190. Have we taken? No, we took one underdog. It's just Jaden at minus 110 versus a minus 120. So, well, let's get to the main event. And if you've watched the whole thing, you probably know where I'm going here. We're dealing with the light heavyweight champion, Robert the Real Deal Trujillo, 6-0 in Power Slap, going up against number 6, Hayden Johnson. And here's been the formula for the lightweight division so far. It's been Robert Trujillo took the title. Someone wins a fight in the lightweight division and they feed them to Trujillo. That's just what the formula has been. And his MMA background and everything definitely plays a factor into this, but he has such a strong chin. He's got such good power from his core. I don't see a reality where Trujillo is giving up this lightweight title without it being an absolute shocker. And looking at the odds right now, Trujillo minus 450 versus Hayden Johnson at plus 300. I'm not going to lie. Watching the Hayden Johnson fight back, I wasn't that impressed by his performance. Yes, he got a knockout. Yes, he won the fight. I was underwhelmed by his performance overall. I think Trujillo is going to have a field day with him. Keep him the light heavyweight champion. Keep getting him a fight once every 6 months when a lightweight happens to win a fight. Holy shit. But he is the king of the lightweight division. And at this point, the lightweight division title should just be called the Trujillo title. I mean, for reals. Or the Real Deal title. The Real Deal belt. I think that would be a sick name, the Real Deal belt. Dana, make it happen, baby. Make it happen. But yeah, that's what I'm dealing with. So let's run through all my picks one more time. We got a 7-leg. Oh, excuse me. Let me go ahead and add Robert Trujillo. 8-leg parlay plus 3,743. Emmanuel Munez, Jaden Fanana, Bryce Jones, Brian Scambler, Esteban Saavedra, Anthony Blackburn, Dorian Perez, and Robert Trujillo to go ahead and wrap it up in all the fights for Power Slap 20. I am excited about this one. I like having these cards so close back to back, and I think that Dana does need to do that more in order to gain more support behind this. And it's in an interesting spot. I really thought this was going to be a part of the Paramount deal, and Paramount was going to take Power Slap into there and make some people, the fan base that is here and that is loyal pay for it. But hey, I'll take it free on YouTube and all of that. I mean, I still have Paramount for UFC, obviously, so I'd prefer if they just consolidate. Anyway, doesn't matter. But I don't know. I was talking to just a side note, talking to people about this one in the office and everything who are sports fans, MMA fans and stuff, and they might not be Power Slap fans. And I'm like, why aren't you into Power Slap? You know what I mean? It's another type of combat sport. You watch UFC and stuff, and they're like, it's just too brutal. They're not defending themselves, yada, yada. And we talk about it more, and I kind of get where they're coming from. But at the same time, it's so awesome, isn't it? It's awesome. And just a different type of fight, not for everybody, but I do think Power Slap is still on the right to the up, and it will be a successful promotion at some point. I mean, shit, Power Slap. My wife and I were at Power Slap 15, and that was a sold out event. I mean, for real, sold out as hell, and barely had any elbow room or anything. This is a sport that continues. Dana, I think the long absences is what's hurting Power Slap. If he continues to make this a month after month event, and then you slowly move it bi-monthly, et cetera, then you're going to gain steam. But, taking that time off he did in the beginning of the year, and then he will probably in the middle, just hurts the sport in general, hurts the interest in it. But anyway, excited to have Power Slap back on the screen. Power Slap 20, Trujillo versus Johnson. Gonna be a great night and gonna be a good start to a good weekend. So that's all I got, though. Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for watching. Shout out to everyone here on Rumble, over on YouTube, TikTok. Y'all are the best. If you like what we're cooking, please hit those like buttons, hit the follow buttons. Does help out a lot more than you know. With all that being said, I'm the BroFix1 AJ. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next time here on Happy Hour Sports Talk. Excuse me.